Bum, bum. All right. Well then. Greetings, champions. Welcome to Mars Guiding Hand. I am Mars, and this is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a free-to-play officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons formation and strategy game from Codename Entertainment. On this partner stream, we are going to take a look at the latest content, discuss strategies, answer any questions you may have about the game. So, take my hand, champions. There's much to learn. Let's get started. Oh my gosh, I actually do have a pop-up in the game. Ah! That is honestly pretty unreal. Wow. Okay. Cool. Oh, is it a supply chest? I didn't even know that. Fantastic. Well, welcome everyone. This has been a long time coming. Thanks, I think I will check it out. Appreciate that, Idle Champions. I know. It's a terrible chair. It's actually, hand-me-down from my grandmother. I need a new one. Anyway, I have been saving something for this first stream. I haven't done any of my Morgaine variants yet. None of them. So I figured, since we're going to be talking about Morgaine today, why not do so as we are playing through one of her variants? So which one would you like to see? Because we have all of the options available. I have about 20,000 favor, so not very much at all. Hopefully, it'll at least be some level of challenge for us, whichever one we do. Where's all my stream codes? Just the one so far. Alright, do we want to see Utterly Devoured? Complete Area 75. Champions devoured by the Devourer are devoured forever and cannot be used again until you reset. That's a lot of devours. Limited resources for Area 125. Only champions in the first bench slot are initially available. Every 10 areas, another bench slot unlocks. Or, Careful Positioning. Morgaine starts in the formation and cannot be removed or swapped out. Only Morgaine and champions buffed by paid up front can deal damage. I'm tempted to do this one, just to see if it's possible with this low favor. I'm feeling like it probably is with my gear. Let's do this one, and hopefully not fail. Is Careful Positioning still bugged? Oh, I hope so! Let's find out. Okay, so I'm just going to start by putting some familiars down. Just started event? Well, I just started the event variants for Morgaine. I've done the event in all of the past years and all the variants, but I'm not exactly hurting for favor right now. All of my permanent campaign favors are at E30, so I don't really care about getting my favor up too high at this point in events. Just enough that I can complete the variants. That's all I really need. Yeah, 1E4 is 10,000. Okay. Let's find out what we're dealing with here. So for Careful Positioning, only Morgaine and champions buffed by paid up front can deal damage. Well, clearly we're going to want Morgaine to gain some levels. Hopefully she will. We'll put on some speed potions or something if we have to. We'll require everyone else to have DPS. Okay. Well, no problem. No one's doing any DPS yet. I don't have formation saved. Yes. Until now, I've only been doing free plays for the event. I was saving my variants for now. You love the beard. That's fantastic. I'm glad you do. What happened to Mars channel? I still have it. But this is special. Is there a code? Yes, there is. It is right above me, if you look up. If you want the fairy dragon, you can find the fairy dragon, I believe, from Wild Offers. Is fairy dragon one of the retired familiars from the retired DLC packs? Deacon does have another skin. This is the Red Dragon Disciple skin for Deacon. So we're going to be discussing Morgaine today. As well, we might as well cover the other champions in this event, if we have time for it. But I'm curious what you guys think about Morgaine. I've seen her popularity's been, honestly, about what I would hope for with most champions. She's not Kroll levels of overpowered or anything like that. I like her, personally. She has what I decided very recently to call a positional potential. In that you can customize where her buff is going, and I like that a lot. With those 3 different specialization options for building her up. It's interesting. I'm not really a fan of Rapid Shot. Except I do think it's fun to build formations around characters that are not meant to be used as DPS. So I'm very tempted to do that with Morgaine sometime, to see what that's like. For example, Paulton DPS is a pretty good DPS. Not supposed to be, but nonetheless is. Well worth it was a pain. I got that earlier today, and it was very quick. I went into Tomb of Annihilation, and I put her in the center of the formation, surrounded her with 6, and I made sure one of those around her was Inrak, so that he could buff her buff. I chose Fine As Is, Keep It Simple, and Tight Formation. I think those are the names. And just like that, instantly. Yeah, you don't need Inrak, but Inrak does make it easier. Okay, one more upgrade and we can start getting Deacon's spawn speed. 2000% with just simple and tight formation. Okay. So, there's only the rest of this week left and this weekend until the event's over. How has it been for you all? As you can see, my Morgaine has Epic level 12 on slot 1, Rare level 18 slot 2, Rare level 8 slot 3, Rare level 2 slot 4, Rare level 6 slot 5, and Rare level 6 slot 6. Thank you, Phonics. And thank you everyone who has spoken up. I've been receiving private messages and tweets and things like that. You say Narak at the studio. Really? I've always said Inrak. Always, always, always. But if Clive says it's Narak, then I suppose it is Narak. After all, he is a Codename Original champion. So, okay, I'll try to change my ways. It's like I used to say Delina before I knew that it was pronounced Delina. And likewise with Farida. Yeah, I think they had Aaron Evans on the show back during Farida's release, and she pronounced the name, and it surprised a lot of people. I think I was calling her something that sounded similar to Friday at first. I don't remember what it is now, it's been so long. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad that I have fans of the visual aids out there. You know, Silisa and Garwar, they're the real MVPs for putting out guides. But I do pride myself on the visual aids, since I feel like that's something that nobody else is really doing a lot of. About how far is this going to take us, I wonder? With just the click damage. Level 25 click damage so far. This is probably going to even out around 30, mid-30s maybe. 40s. Certainly not far enough for the entire adventure. That's very nice of you to say, Lightbody. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy them so much, that you find them visually appealing enough to set them as your desktop. I used to do that, but it was distracting for me. So we can't move Morgaine either, right? She's stuck. Cannot be removed or swapped out. Okay, we can move her, though. That's good. I'm thinking I'm probably going to go for just as many champions as I can get for her to affect. How many can we get at once with her in this oddly shaped formation? Here she can touch 4 adjacent. And we're just going to have to rely on adjacent for now, since she is far away from getting any upgrades at the moment. Keep your distance would be good, we just have to get her to the point that we can choose that. If it's still broken, it only recognizes adjacent. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's been fixed or not either, then. Well, we shall see. And hey, even if this run ends in failure, we'll still have learned things today. And that's the point of this show, is essentially to educate. And yes, it seems the Devourer is spawning on Stage 25. Hey, C&E, is that supposed to be happening? I had seen people talking about that, but since I hadn't played the variant for myself yet, I couldn't confirm for myself. But there it is. Extra Devourers. Fantastic. My favorite boss. Oh boy. My avatar's smugness. Yeah, I guess Mars is kind of smug. Yeah, he probably is. A bit full of himself. My tea today, since someone asked earlier, is a rose chai, by the way. It's a special rose chai that I got from a trip last year, and I've been saving it for special occasions, of which I certainly feel like this is one. Let's take a look at Morgaine, since we're going to be waiting for a while. Why not have Sentry in the first line for speed? We can. Would you like to have Sentry in the first line for speed? If we just need to go faster, I'll just throw speed potions on. But if you'd like to see Sentry, then I'm perfectly fine with that. There she is. We just don't really need a optimal formation yet, since no one's doing damage yet anyway besides Morgaine. But it is nice to have her for the speed, of course. It'll be better once we can get her specialization unlocked. Now then, back to Morgaine. So Morgaine is a chaotic neutral high elf ranger with the support and gold rolls. Her base attack, rapid shot. Morgaine shoots an arrow at a random target, then quickly follows up with a second arrow. Her ability scores are interesting. She joins the 7 or 8, maybe? There's a small number of champions that have a 20 in some ability score. I counted them last week. It's a good dexterity, meaning that she would qualify for Zorbu's Hunter's Pack buff. I look forward to the day when we can field nothing but archers of some kind, whether it's crossbow users or regular bow users. That'll be an interesting formation eventually. Just all ranged attacks. "12 Constitution, 14 Intelligence, 15 Wisdom, 10 Charisma." Charisma's not good enough for a hitch. And the Strength is not doing Krond any favors. Still, she has some interesting abilities. The paid up front is my favorite thing about her, just because of how the specializations work, that you can essentially put her anywhere in the formation, depending on how you build her. And I believe she's our first champion to have 3 specialization upgrades. I remember asking CNE on stream last year sometime if they would ever give a champion in the future 3 specialization upgrades instead of 2. And at the time, I can't remember if they said no or dodged the question, but here we are. Happy to see it. I feel like more than that might be overkill, but 3 feels good to me. You know, it's kind of a magic number. Thankfully, we have the feature that lets us see upcoming upgrades, so we can look ahead of time at what Morgaine's going to have, once we can actually afford her abilities. So her first upgrade, Double Tap. If Morgaine's first arrow kills her target, the second arrow causes the enemy to drop a second set of gold. Which helps for getting up to your wall when she gets kills, but so will everyone else. So I can't imagine that's going to be making a huge difference in the rush up to your wall. Now, you could, of course, try to build her into your DPS character of choice by just aiming all of the different buffs that you have at her. I'll just take Doom 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 so I don't have to worry about his positioning. Her paid up front ability. That's what I'm most interested in. She collects 25% of all the gold dropped by enemies, but in turn increases the damage of adjacent champions by X amount. Increased by amount for each order of magnitude gold that Morgaine's collected, stacking additively. And the collected gold count persists through resets. This is another in a line of persistent upgrade effects that they've been kind of slowly adding to champions. Zorbu, Black Viper, these champions also have persistent upgrades. Zorbu with how many kills he has of different enemy types, and Black Viper with collecting red gems, up to 6,500 max for her current highest unlocked ability. Now, we can't actually see what my current gold stack is for Morgaine, but it's around E67 gold. I did one run on one of my permanent campaigns in order to unlock her second feat slot, and that required that I make it to about E64 gold. If you don't start strong yet in Grand Tour, are events worth it? Events are absolutely worth it. 100% worth it. Always, 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 always do events. Always. Do not skip events. Unlock the characters, gear them up if you can, but unlocking them is the most important thing. Start strong is a fantastic blessing to have to make events more worth it, but events are absolutely worth doing on their own without having the blessing. Good luck. Yeah, to put things in perspective, when I started the game, blessings didn't exist. So the first several events, we didn't have that blessing. We still played the events, of course. We're coming up on what's supposed to be the real Devourer fight here. And I'm going to hope that Morgaine can get this kill. I'm wondering if Morgaine is targeted by the Devourer first, because the rest of them don't care. Oh, it's done. Okay, great. If it had managed to grab Morgaine, then we could just reset and go back in until it doesn't grab Morgaine. By the way, I don't know this, but is it intentionally a joke? Her name, I mean? Morgaine? As in, making a profit is more gain? Is that intentional? Because that's hilarious. I love that. How even her name is themed with her mechanics. Fantastic. Garwar, I did ask questions. I did ask questions during that interview. I asked several, and one of them made it through. That was a very fun interview. Not a lot of questions actually answered in the interview, but nonetheless, very fun. Morgan Webb was very lighthearted and spirited, and it was just a pleasant conversation to witness. Correct, I didn't ask that question. Alright, just a name closer to her own. Well, that's what I figured, but I really was hoping that, like, maybe secretly it was meant to be a joke. Play on words. Either way, it's fun. Hey, we should get my own chest while I'm at it. I miss doing this for my previous Idle Champion streams. Okay. Guiding Hand. Ah, I'm so excited to be doing this show with you all. Yay! Ah, excellent. Medium bounty, medium blacksmithing contract. The potions are not as exciting to me with how many of them that I have currently. Have you ever noticed this about enemies spawning on boss stages all at once if you have another screen open? I've always wondered why it's done that, but it's been like that as long as I can remember. Am I using Dragonbait in my formations yet? I am not, because I don't have them unlocked yet. I was thinking we could do that together next week. What do I mean by having another screen open? I mean, like, having the chest opening screen open, or the shop screen open, for example. For some reason, it seems to cause boss spawns to delay, and then they all trigger at once. It doesn't happen every time, but it does happen. Now, I don't know. I don't know if that would actually be a good stream subject or not. But I've been holding off on Dragon Bait, just in case that seemed like it would be of interest to you all. Between the 3 event champions in this event, between Morgaine, Cthulhu, and Regis, who are your favorites? Which one of these 3 do you like the most? Do you see yourself using the most? For me, it's Regis, because I'm a big fan of the Companions of the Hall, especially after they've been reworked. I love using Drizzt formations. I'm not even a Drizzt fan. I've never read any of the books. I just think he's cool. I just think he's a cool character. I like using him. I especially enjoy his champion Drizzt skin, which I just picked up last week. I'm seeing a lot of Regis in the chat. Some Cthulhu. So maybe Morgaine's on the low end here. That's unfortunate. Being the new kid on the block and all. But I can still see her getting use. Definitely. It's especially interesting to me that she also gets a buff for how many gold find characters you have in the formation. That's cool. Because you know we're going to get more of those in the future. We have to. We're going to get more tanks. We're going to get more supports. We're going to get more DPS. We're going to get more gold champions. We're going to get more champions. So it makes me excited every time they release a gold champion in the future. I'm going to be thinking about Morgaine and how that will affect her and her formations. I'm going to take... if we want speed, we can just use speed potions, so I'm going to take Sentry's Homeland. Why is Azaka not a gold champion? Great question. I wonder that myself. In my opinion, she's the most important gold champion in the game. When I think of gold find characters, I immediately go to Azaka in my head. Morgaine is great with Zorbu. Ah! I will have to try that. I am a convert to Zorbu DPS formations. I didn't use Zorbu for the longest time. Even after his rework, I still didn't use Zorbu very much at all. I do now. Zorbu has climbed the ranks to become my top DPS. Pretty sure. Does Regis count as gold find? If it's not in his roles, then he does not count. No, go away, Regis. I don't need you right now, Regis. I will take Cadbury. At this point, I need to start worrying about actually buffing people. Well, Morgaine, just Morgaine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine for now. Between the 3 variants, which ones have you all struggled with the most? Looking at them. I feel like careful positioning may be the most difficult of the 3, just on a gut reaction, just a base instinct. But limited resources seems like it's the most fun to me. I'm going to make a judgment call at some point on this adventure, whether I feel like this is possible for us or not. And if it isn't, we're just going to back out and do the other one. It's fine. Don't worry about the event tokens being wasted. It's okay. It's not your event tokens, after all. It's mine. I'm here to put on a good show for you all, after all. Ah, yes. I know the one you're talking about, NJ, the Strahd, that one Ravenloft adventure variant where you're limited to just the original 9 champions. That's tough. That's especially tough when you are playing with patrons. Yes. Veterans Brigade. Whew. Yes, I like that you don't have to use Morgaine DPS for this. She starts as your DPS, of course, because she's the only one who's doing anything. But it doesn't stay that way as soon as you get some upgrades on her. We just don't have any yet. Where would I recommend using polish potions? Okay, so potions of polish, for anyone who doesn't know, are extremely rare potions. I think I still have one over here we can look at. Yes, potion of polish. Use it to upgrade a random piece of equipment from normal to its shiny version. Shiny equipment has an increase to its effect by plus 50%. So, for example, on Shandy here, she has a shiny on her slot 6, her ultimate cooldown. You can't really choose where your potions of polish go. It will simply choose a random champion and random gear slot for that champion. But there are ways that you can kind of play the system a little bit, but only if you are extremely patient. There are some players I know in the community who have been stockpiling potions of polish from special limited time events or purchases that they've made in the game, etc., and only decided to use them once they have reached full shiny on all of their evergreen champions. So all of the core champions and all of the non-event unlockable champions, such as Azaka and Hitch and Dritz, and now Dragonbait has joined the ranks. That takes a lot of investment. That takes a lot of time. I'm not like that. No. When I get a potion of polish, I just use it immediately. So, if you want the optimal suggestion, it's to wait a long time before you use any of them. But that's not fun, in my opinion. I prefer just using them immediately. You do not get to pick which champion. They do not work like blacksmith contracts. Yes, Delana, the shiny thief. How much health are we looking at here? 17. Okay. I'm gonna throw on some fire breath potions here. Let's just go with a 15-minute potion. Use more if we have to. Okay. The speed should pick up now. Especially once Shandy's dash kicks in. If you have all of your evergreen shiny, can shiny still drop from chests? Yes. Would you get a potion instead? No. Instead, I believe you are awarded 125 item levels. I think that's what happens with the duplicate shiny now. It used to not be like that, but they changed it. So that if you get a shiny in a chest, and it lands on something that's already shiny, then I believe that's plus 125 item levels. Can anyone in chat confirm that? Because as you can see, it's not like that for me. I have a long way to go. So I have not experienced duplicate shiny yet myself. I can show you my gear, if you like. I always keep one tiny blacksmithing contract in my inventory, always, 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 so that I can always look at my gear overall whenever I choose to. So if that's not something you're already doing, I highly suggest doing that, just so you can kind of more easily keep track of what all you have on all of the champions you have unlocked. As long as they already have 6 items equipped, like 1 in every slot, then they will show up in this list. It's very helpful. Let's go ahead and use this one. And I'll even throw it on Morgaine if I can find her. There she is. Average item level's 9. Yeah, we need to fix that. Okay, ultimate attack. Nice. Cool. And we'll get some upgrades. Still gonna be a while before we get her paid up front ability, which we desperately need. Maybe not desperately. I came prepared. There we go. 2 cups. You're thinking Kroll is best for blacksmithing contracts. Whew. If I had to pick one champion to throw all of my blacksmithing contracts onto right now, it would be none of them. Because I did that already. I already did the pick one champion and put all of your blacksmithing contracts thing. That was Frida for me. Item level 1000 on slot 1. But now I never use her. Which is sad, because she's my favorite character in the game. So, instead, having learned my lesson, I split my blacksmithing contract item levels across all of my event champions. Only ever event champions. My goal is typically to get an event champion to average item level 50 or higher, and then I move on to the next one. So right now I'm working on Artemis. I just recently finished Kroll. I like Deacon as well, especially with the Red Dragon Disciple skin. It's just It's just cool having a little tiny dragon in the party. I mean, we have Archon and Donar, of course, but they don't have wings. Red Dragon Disciple Deacon has wings, so he's better. Oh, could you imagine Archon with wings, though? Oh, that would be good. That's a good look. Can we get that as a skin? We just got Hand of Vecna Archon, so probably not. That's true, Giant Dwarf. Deacon works without gear. You don't need any gear on Deacon to enjoy Deacon's most popular game mechanic, I think, which is the increased spawn rate of enemies. Effectively doubling the speed of the game, kind of. Sentry is certainly an important speed character. It's strange talking about this, though, as speed is this kind of unofficial role that I give to the champions on my visual aid that I make for the entire roster. But that's not an official thing in the game. Deacon, Shandy, Sentry, Minsk, technically Xander. But I wouldn't bother. With E40 damage, is E40 going to be enough to get us through 175 for this variant? I'm not sure. While I agree with that statement that speed is the most important thing to go after in a vacuum, I agree with that statement. Like, if all things were equal, then yes. But I think it also comes down to the subjective play experience of the individual player. Some players aren't going to value speed. Maybe they value damage more than speed. Maybe they just want to hit things really, really, really hard. So they might not care about speed champions as much. I think it's always important to consider that other people think differently. Easily finish the variant with what I have? Okay, great. Then maybe we should remove some people. Can I spend a minute on the value of Zorbu farming? Sure. Happy to answer questions. Wish I could access my Zorbu right now to go look at him, but I can't. So I guess the best thing we can do is pull up collections and go all the way to the end. Takes a while to scroll through here. This way I can at least have Zorbu on screen. So for anyone who doesn't know, Zorbu is a little gnome, an old gnome. I believe is the oldest character in the game by age. I looked this up. Apparently, Zorbu, if being a character in the Forgotten Realms, has lived through every one of the edition changes of Dungeons & Dragons, which, in the Forgotten Realms, is always heralded by some kind of apocalyptic event. Some kind of horrible, world-shattering devastation, or war, or something terrible. So, I'm kind of not surprised that Zorbu has ended up as hateful as he is, after having seen so much the horrors of war and so much death. So, Zorbu is this angry little gnome who just hates certain kinds of creatures, like beasts and undead. Zorbu has effectively sort of like a favored enemy for rangers kind of mechanic, where he becomes better and better and better at killing particular types of enemies based on how many of those types of enemies he's already taken down. Given the fact that his basic attack fires and hits everything in a line, you can build that up pretty quickly if you go to the right adventures. With the right formation, speed potions, Zorbu out there, you can build up his stacks pretty fast. I know there are some people out there who have, oh gosh, just really high stacks, like E6, 7, 8, 9. Very high stacks for Zorbu. I'm nowhere close to that. I think I'm in the E4 or E5 range for 1 or 2. How do you get Zorbu? Zorbu is unlocked from the Fleetswake event. I can show you that from my achievements. If I go to events and scroll down, eventually we'll land on Fleetswake, which is my favorite event just because of the kind of the themes involved. Like you go out onto a ship during a storm and you fight a kraken, and that's so cool. I just think out of all of the events, that's the most hype kind of story and setting for a boss fight. I love Fleetswake for that. So Zorbu is recruited from the Fleetswake event. One of the few ranged characters, and even fewer ranged DPS characters. And in my opinion, he is one of, if not the strongest DPS in the current meta. So he's absolutely worth unlocking and gearing up. If you ever see him in a time gate, get him. Don't pass it up. Hello, Dr. Awkward. Thank you, and you're welcome. Cheers. It's really nice to be seeing so much love from everybody in the community for this. I've been so excited, so looking forward to this day. I'm nervous, but here it is. We're finally here. Guiding Hand. It's real. Can't believe it. Yeah, go to the Reddit. If you need resources, go to Reddit, go to Discord. We have a thriving community for Idle Champions, and there's so much information available in different places. Go look for it. It's out there. And if you don't know where it is, ask someone, and I'm sure they'll be happy to show you. I love this community. It's really full of kind, generous, positive people in general. I made a lot of friends in this community, so it means a lot that you guys are here and that we're doing this together. Thanks for being here. The Discord is super awesome, I can confirm. I spend a lot of time in there. If you ever want to chat with me, I'm pretty much always available in the Idle Champions Discord. Hmm. I'm thinking about removing someone. But who? The Tyrell's not doing anything for us, really. Just a body. Just someone close to, what was that, buffing Shandy? Yeah, too far away for Keelik to care about him. Alright, get out of here, Tyrell. If you've ever reached a point in the game where you feel like it's getting too easy, might I recommend making it more difficult for yourself? Challenge is what you make of it. And I certainly reached the point where I wasn't feeling challenged anymore. So I just made my own challenges. Boss HP for target should be E49 in this variant. Thank you, Giant Dwarf. Well, I don't think we have to worry about that then. If we keep it at around E46, that might make for a thrilling boss fight. I'll put on a 5-minute Fire Breath. I don't want us to have Fire Breath going once we reach the high levels. That's just to make it go through a little bit faster to get to that point. If at all possible, I'd like to do the other variant while we're all here. The second variant as well. Do we have paid up front? We have paid up front. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, there's the damage numbers. Fantastic. So it's not just Morgaine that we're relying on anymore. We still need her, of course. She's buffing everyone. But we can also use the people around her. So, who do we want to use as DPS? Catti does make for a good DPS. But that's going to... We're going to have to shuffle things around to make that work. Gromma's a DPS, technically. DPS tanking support. Team Archers. We do! We have 4 Archers. Ha! That's great. If only we could get Zorbu in here. We just don't have enough gold yet. Can't even get Avrin yet. Jarlaxle? If we do Jarlaxle, then I'd want to put a different tank in. And for that, I would be very tempted to use Tyrell, because bear. Who doesn't like a big fuzzy bear? I always find it amusing to use Tyrell as my tank, just because everyone else are these adventurers with their weapons and all, and if you go with bear specialization for Tyrell, then it's just a bear. No frills, just a bear. Teaching everyone the secrets of IC? I mean... yeah, kind of. Yeah, I suppose that's pretty much what Guiding Hand's about. Showing off the latest, greatest content of the game, such as Morgaine and her variants, which we're doing today. And answering questions for anyone who needs help, new players, etc. And discussing high-level strategies. Like, I'm sure at some point we'll talk about Azaka farming. We'll talk about debuff stacking. We'll talk about... oh boy. All the fun you can have with Artemis and Archon at the same time. Have you guys seen what you can do with Artemis and shields? Because if you haven't, give it a shot. It's weird. Surprisingly effective. How does one grow such a majestic beard? Hey, that's not Isle Champions related. I didn't do anything special. It just happened. but I do condition it. Minsk is extremely powerful for a DPS in the current state of the game. Used to not be. I think Minsk has always been at least kind of good, but now Minsk is amazing. One of the top DPS, like in the top 10. Gut reaction. What is the E number? Sure. So when you have the game open, you see all these hotkeys down here if you hover over the little H icon. One of these hotkeys is Y to toggle scientific notation. If I press Y, it should go back to maybe what you're used to seeing, which is using letters. I have no idea what these letters are supposed to mean. No idea. But I understand scientific notation. So it's just a matter of which style you prefer. Scientific notation essentially means take the number you're looking at, in this case 7.49 E46, so take 7.49 and move the decimal point over 46 spaces. So 44 spaces after the 9 here. And that's how much damage I'm dealing. I greatly prefer scientific notation, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry at all. I saw the opportunity and I took it. Hey, I love Coco too. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, if you play the game long enough, eventually it runs out of letters. You have reached the end of the alphabet. And you are automatically moved to scientific notation at around the E70 mark. So I would suggest switching to scientific notation and getting used to it. Because, like it or not, you're gonna have to. Oh, I know, Clive, I know. I cannot memorize that list of what the letters mean for each and every one of them. I know we have quintillion, septillion, octillion, etc., etc., etc. But it's too much. I'm not going to be able to remember what 70 different letters translate to for numbers. Much better with just the numbers. Garwar thinks we should only have scientific notation. I politely disagree. I think it's good to have both, because then we're not being exclusionary to people. You know, some people just cannot deal with the numbers, like I cannot deal with the letters. And I don't want those people to feel like they can't play the game. I want Idle Champions to be for everybody. Because it's a good game, I love it. There was at least one player out there who posted on Reddit at one point talking about how they understood the letters perfectly well, but like they could not grasp how the numbers worked for scientific notation. That was very eye-opening for me. The game became much more enjoyable when you discovered using both Shift and Alt keys together to level up. Yes, this is one of the little tricks. I don't think the game tells you anywhere how to do this, but if you hover over the number for leveling, in the bottom left, not only can you click on it to change the style of how many level ups you're doing at a time, but it'll also tell you keyboard shortcuts that you can utilize as you are clicking on champions to sort of quickly shift between the different modes of leveling. In the same vein, you can hold the F key in order to set familiars in different places. Like here, I just put 4 familiars on my roaming ultimate bar. And now I've taken them all away by holding F and pressing the familiar button. And now I have 6 back on the field. I really enjoy that they've added these sort of quick hotkeys to do things. Having the F key access for quickly placing familiars is a godsend. Ugh, that's such a relief. I'm sure a lot of players appreciate that. Oh, we just got a chest. We should open our chests. I collected a few chests to open them. I have not received a natural shiny, get this, since I believe when I used to stream the game on my own. Which I think the last one of those was August or September? It was around then. It was a while ago. We're getting some blue items here, that's good. I really want a shiny, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Probably not. But you know, the first time I ever streamed Idle Champions, I pulled a shiny. First time I ever streamed it. The luck was with me that day. Okay, we're just gonna open the rest at once. No luck this time. That's okay. We got a couple of contracts. Yes, in the bottom left corner, if you click on this blue button right here, you can switch between each of the upgrade styles. And it will stay on that, and it will remember the style that you have it set to between resets. So if you leave it on upgrade, and you end the adventure and start another one, it will still be on upgrade. Oh, Zeke, you just started Durable Deep. Good luck. It is very slow. Speed potions are your friend. Anything that does multiple hits, especially ultimate attacks. Anyone with pushback, like Donar's everyone cool out spec, is extremely good for that. How do you reveal the chest items automatically? Like when I open several at once? Let me buy some chests and I'll show you. So, when you're on your chest opening screen, there is a button, a little blue button, under the count of chests that you have. And if you click on that, it will ask you how many you would like to open at once. It goes up to 50 if you have that many. It will show you your best items initially that you pulled from the group, and then it will show you everything at once. I feel like we should be using Cthulhu and Regis in here. It'll slow us down a little bit. But it's just appropriate. After all, it's their event too. Oh! And just like that, he's done. Alright. Well, good game, Cthulhu. Thanks for playing. At least he doesn't stay utterly devoured. He got better. But that was pretty funny. He saw beyond the veil. Oh, poor Cthulhu. It's interesting using Cthulhu alongside Morgaine in this event. Like, there's a theme between the two of them, in that they both take money from you. I can't help but wonder if that's intentional. It's funny, regardless. I like using Cthulhu, though. He has a fantastic ultimate. Do we have it? Yes, we do. On the next boss, I will put his ultimate out. And let's take some people away. We're doing too much damage here. Oh, as I was opening chests individually, I was speeding through them. That's what you wanted to know about. Ah, well, that's just mashing spacebar rapidly. When you press spacebar on the keyboard, it will flip over one of your item cards, and once it's flipped over all of them for the chest, the next time you press spacebar, it will close that chest and open another one of the same type if you have another one. And then you can just keep mashing to flip those cards over, etc., 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 etc. I've opened thousands of chests like that in the past. So very thankful that we have the group chest method now. This game really does have quite a plethora of keyboard shortcuts. You just have to experiment with it to find them. Or ask people who know. We don't have friends in wealth yet. It'll be tempting to... I don't know if we're going to have enough time to do the other variant on stream, but maybe we can just go into an adventure that I have a lot of favor for, one of the permanent campaigns, just so we can get Morgaine leveled up quickly, and then we can actually play around with her abilities more. Or we could always have a part 2 to Morgaine next week, since it's in between events anyway. Yes, the F keys will also level champions. Watch, I'll put my cursor in the middle of the screen. And now I will level Morgaine. That was inrack. I misclicked. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Easy. By pressing F9, I leveled my 9th slot champion, which is currently Morgaine. The keyboard shortcuts also work for the Android emulator. Oh, huh, interesting. Cthulhu's challenge to kill 10,000 enemies with his ultimate, does that provide a bonus only if it's completed before the event ends? No. All of the champion-specific achievements, or milestones, depending on what version of the game you're playing, it's called different things. The event champion-specific achievements do not have to be completed during their event. They can be completed at any time, you just have to unlock the character. As long as you have the character, you can get the achievement. It can be today. It could be 5 months from now. Doesn't matter. Just get the character, and then you can take as much time as you need to get that specific achievement. For example, and this is the only reason I haven't finished this, is so that I can use it as an example. Jim. Jim Dark Magic's Saved the Day achievement. Have Jim kill 1.00E04, that's 10,000, enemies while hiding in his hidey box. I'm currently at 5,748 enemies killed while hiding in his hidey box. I can finish it whenever I want. Doesn't have to be during the event. I got a few more kills for him earlier today. I just felt like playing a Jim DPS formation. Been a while. I really enjoyed using Jim on my gearless account. He was my main DPS for a very long time after I had unlocked him. Dragonbait is another evergreen, which you presume means he's in a new slot, correct? Yes. Well, okay. He's not in a new slot. He's a new champion in slot 11. He swaps with Jamila, Strix, Warden, Averin. I don't have him yet, so that's why he's not there. But he's not slot 13, just like how we have Hitch swaps with Delana. You get Hitch from the newsletter, he's evergreen. And we have Azaka, who swaps with Archon, she's evergreen. And we have Dritz, who swaps with Makos. He's evergreen too. Dragonbait's, same thing. Just for slot 11. Oh, almost missed question. I'm trying my best to get all of these, but it's hard. So, Teresa Morgan, you asked earlier. Thank you for hosting us. You're welcome. This is probably a silly question, but how do you have so much gold with only 2.95 EO4 gold? Fine, maybe it's to do with the other champions you just started playing. You just have the starter champions, those from the last two events. Yes, it is because I have all of the champions, and they are all well geared, especially any of my evergreen champions, which I don't believe I'm using any right now. Right, I'm not. But even the ones that I do have still have pretty good gear, like at least rare, if not epic, and then some even have shinies. I think I have extremely few golden epics, extremely few of them. But then also my achievement bonus is going to matter for that as well. I just got it over 4,000% today. All of these upgrades to my group damage. I've got the patron perks, for example. Another thing, patron perks are affecting it. Increase the damage of all champions by 50%. That's one, for example. And then there's global, global blessings. Like from Torm, tier 1, double damage. Kalimdor, tier 1, double damage. Same for Helm, same for Tiamat. Double damage all across all campaigns. So, all of these little bonuses combine to help you push further and thus gain more gold faster. If I wanted to, and I could, I've done it before, I could get to about E20 favor on my first run of an event. I just don't see much of a point in doing that at this stage of my time in Idle Champions. I don't have a reason to have that high of favor anymore. If I gain a reason to farm very hard for event favor in the future, then I will do so. If you guys would like to see that sometime, what that looks like to farm very hard at high-level gameplay, then I'd be happy to show you that sometime. As long as it's providing some kind of point to it, then I will do that. Hey, I'm just happy that you're playing gearless at all, Garwar. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Dragon asks, how do you get Azaka? Well, if I go look at my campaign map, this is finicky. Okay, I'm just going to press M on my keyboard because that's being a nuisance. And this will open up my campaign map. I'm going to go to Tomb of Annihilation. I'm going to go to the second page. And I'm going to go down to this camp right here. I'm going to reveal all my completed ones. And down here, Tomb of the Nine Gods. The second variant, Azaka's Procession Part 2. If you can beat this, you will unlock Azaka permanently. And she's well worth it. Extremely good character for getting your favor up because she can generate gold on enemies when you use her ultimate if you take her Resist the Curse specialization. There are multiple guides out there, and they constantly get updated every time something changes. There's multiple guides out there to teach you how to do what's called Azaka farming, which I'll show you on the stream at some point, if we need to. Do you have to use a new account to go gearless? Yes. You just choose not to open any chests at all, even in the tutorial. Brunor forces you to open the chest opening screen, but he doesn't actually force you to open any chest once you're there. You can just back out, leave. But it's not for everyone. Honestly, I would advise against playing gearless. Because it's very, very slow. Very slow. You're gonna have more fun playing with gear. I feel like most people would have more fun playing with gear. It's just that I have multiple accounts. This is my main account. This account I have many, many, many hours on. So I'm well invested in gear, and I'm going to continue to be well invested in gear. Gearless is a nice challenge, but I haven't played it in months. Well, she's not an event champion, Azaka, I mean, and she's not a core champion, but she is an evergreen champion, which is like the higher umbrella term for core plus non-event champions together. Evergreen, because they're always available. Was it Chris who coined that? And now it's actually in the game? Because it was used for one of the more recent variants that was added? Yes. Blame Chris. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have, Oh. Nope. Apparently that didn't work. I'm supposed to have a slideshow of icons down at the bottom of the screen to the left of the Idle Champions logo. It's not working. I'll have that fixed for next time. One of them is the Blame Chris icon. We should have a Praise Chris. I feel like he gets too much blame. Alright, we're almost there with this very strange formation. When this is done, would you like to see the second variant, or the first variant, or just some free play? I think I'm going to go with the second variant, unless anyone has strong opinions otherwise. The one where the Devour is permanent. That certainly wouldn't be difficult. It could be entertaining, especially if we made it difficult on purpose. Like maybe we allow the Devourer to take someone every time we fight it. Maybe. In the variants, is it best to go to your wall or just complete it? In my opinion, it depends on the variant. Some variants, rarely, but there are some, are better for you than just playing free plays for the purpose of getting favor, depending on your formation and other, like, contextual elements. But some variants are very good for pushing favor. Most of the time, not, because they're just challenging and restricting, but that makes them fun, and not necessarily good for farming. For careful positioning, I wouldn't do it. I would just finish this and leave, and that's what I'm going to do, is finish it and leave. For Morgaine's second variant, which just slowly unlocks slots over time, yeah, that's fine, because by the time I get to the end of the variant, I'll have everyone. So at that point, I'll just turn it into a normal favor run. It'll just be like playing a free play at that point. For the first one, Utterly Devoured, I probably wouldn't do it. Yes, some variants are particularly good for farming kills for Zorbu. Has anyone played around with Morgaine's ultimate yet? Let's take a look at it. We don't have it yet on this run, so we're probably not going to get it at all. But it's customized arrow. This smacks of Strix's ultimate. If you've ever played with Strix, if you're familiar with how Strix works at all. Similar ultimate idea in that when the ultimate is used, it chooses at random one of 3 different effects. For Morgaine, these are Skull-Carved Arrow, hitting all enemies in a line, like what Zorbu does with his basic attack. Smoke Powder Arrow, explodes when it hits an enemy, dealing AoE damage. So like a cleave at a distance. That's cool. And then Greenleaf Arrow does 300% damage over 20 seconds to the target enemy. I like that one. I like Greenleaf Arrow because I'm thinking about specific bosses that just have an annoying amount of segmented health. And I'm wondering if Greenleaf Arrow can just chew through segmented health. Like the Soulmonger, for example. It's not armored health, just segmented health. Just takes a while to do 100 hits to it. Maybe Greenleaf Arrow can help with that. But you do have to get lucky at that point to even roll that one when you choose the ultimate. The problem is the arrow choice is random. Yes. But what if I told you you could spam any ultimate you want? If you know the trick. What if I told you you can go deeper? I like Cathris's ultimate because it's spooky. And now I need to wait 3, almost 4 minutes before I can use it again. I just feel like using it again. So I'm going to open up my inventory and use a Potion of Specialization. And I'm going to choose Cathris. And I'm just going to choose the exact same specialization that I had on him before. And look at that. I can use his ultimate again, so I will. Potions of Specialization, in addition to resetting your specialization choices, also instantly reset your ultimate cooldown time. Which can be very useful for particularly difficult boss fights when you desperately need certain ultimates. Some ultimates are more useful than others, depending on the kind of boss you're facing. Oh no! The Devourer took Sentry. That's problematic. That's our tank line. Oh no! Everything's terrible. Ah! We're finally losing! Hooray! Good, good. I don't think this is happening. I think we're gonna have to reset this area. Put some levels on people. Grama, I don't think it's happening. But I will level you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Everyone's dying. I didn't even notice that Caddy, Bree, and Shandy were already gone. Oof. Yeah, we're gonna have to reset this. That was bad. But I'm glad. I'm glad that we finally hit a struggle here. Good. It's refreshing, honestly. Oh, I'm just gonna go with Alchemist Fire Expertise, just to keep it simple. Everybody stop! Let's empty the quiver. Wall of Stone. Flame Lance! Go, Sentry! Yes, so cool. That's gonna do it. Thank you, Shandy. I'm so sorry, Cathris and Grama. Cathris, you've been devoured multiple times in this run. It's unfortunate. Hey, we did it. Go team. I'm gonna go ahead and complete this. Thank you, thank you. I'll be here all day. Because I always am. Okay, we got our gold chest. So, utterly devoured or limited resources? You didn't know that they also do 0 damage to that extra memo. Yeah, I noticed that right at the start of the run when we only had Donar's ultimate unlocked. When I hovered over it, it said 0 damage. That's when I realized that's problematic. It's a good thing to be aware of. I'm thinking I'm going to go with limited resources. Because it's honestly a really exciting idea for a variant to me. My favorite variants are the ones that don't just restrict which champions you're using. My favorite variants are always the ones that do something a little extra special. Like this one. You are restricted with your champions, but you gain access to more of them over time as you progress. So for limited resources, only champions in the first bench slot are initially available, and every 10 areas another bench slot unlocks for us to use. So we're going to have to get through the first 10 areas with just slot 1. And I'm going to go with Cathris for this, since it's his event. It's Midwinter. This is one of my favorite items in the game, just for, like, the cosmetics, just the look of it. Hey, I really love the art in this game. It's extremely good. Look at that. That is breathtaking. If I saw someone walking down the street in that, I would stop. I would stop and stare. That is a gorgeous cloak. It's interesting that we can already unlock them if we choose. We just can't use them yet. You know, we can't drag them into the formation. So who do we want to see? We had Sentry last time. How about Stokey? Because we can use Champion Stokey, which I think is very good. I love all the Champion skins. Gotta collect them all. I am definitely a skin collector. Boy, that feels weird to say aloud. There's gotta be a better phrase for that, right? Don't like that. Not Grama this time. How about Spurt? He's a fun little guy. A patron where the enemies start at a much higher level. Hey, there are 5 adventures in the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast campaign that would agree with you. The enemies just are higher level there. Was that ever fixed? I vaguely recall that being addressed. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that moment, at least. Okay, we need to get some levels on here. I want to at least get to where we can unlock Regis as well. Oh, I've got half an hour left. Does anyone else have any questions? Anyone need advice with anything? Just don't know how to do something? I am here for you. What do I think are behind the books? My books? There's a wall. There's a wall behind the books. And a window. Can we get your visual aids put in the game? Probably not. But if they wanted to, it's fine. Is there any point in using the blacksmithing contracts before having all blue-purple gear? Yeah, sure. You don't lose item levels. Ever. Ever. At all. If you decide to use blacksmithing contracts on a character before you have finished gearing them, and then you do get more gear for them, all of that's going to combine in the same way that it would have combined if you'd gotten the gear first and then used the blacksmithing contracts. So if you've already decided that you're going to use blacksmithing contracts on a certain character, and you're just waiting for their gear, don't wait. Just use them. There's no point in waiting. And the saddest point of every stream is when I finish my tea. Yeah, you do need to at least have all 6 slots of gear with something in it. Even if it's all common or uncommon or what have you. As long as the champion has a piece of gear in each of the 6 slots, then they are eligible for using blacksmithing contracts. If you're trying to push your wall, is it better to gather gold faster or keep DPS up to farm a higher zone? Well, that depends if you want to use Azaka farming or not. If you want to use Azaka farming, then you push as high up as you can go, and then you intentionally create a formation where you are not killing enemies, and you are instead maximizing your gold gain, because Azaka farming is weird and fun, and very, very, very unique for playing the game in that way. Otherwise, in general, my advice for pushing and earning gold outside of doing Azaka farming is get to your wall, like your absolute wall, as long as you're still killing things there, and then stay there for about an hour. Then reset, and go again. I wouldn't hang out somewhere longer than an hour, especially like early on when you're starting the game, unless you just really need to for some reason. Like you're going to go to sleep and you intend on leaving the game running overnight. I wouldn't recommend doing that. It might be a fire hazard for your computer, or your game console or what have you. But if you choose to do that, then otherwise, Yeah, no, that's about what I'd say. Just get to your wall, grind for about an hour, reset, and go again. Rinse and repeat. Marietta Gecko asks, you haven't really gotten many people unlocked. Should you wait to get more useful champions, or should you go with what you have? Yeah, only use blacksmithing contracts on event champions, like Blue Tom is saying, because your core characters, such as Brunor, evergreen characters such as Hitch, etc., anyone that can get gear from regular silver and gold chests will. They just will get gold. Or get gear from those chests. Event champions are much more difficult to gear, so definitely use blacksmithing contracts on them. Prioritize event champions. Okay, it's boring having just one character out here. So let's get Regis out. Yeah, now they're a team. Oh no. I don't know who my DPS is going to be for this yet. What if we used Krull? And just made him our DPS despite him not being a DPS? That could be fun. What is Krull's attack? Melee. Okay. So let's choose... let's choose a head. Because one of Regis's upgrades... Do we have it already? No. One of Regis's upgrades makes his Ruby Encouragement buff stronger based on how many champions he's targeting with it. This column of 3 would be the most that he can target at once in this formation shape. So I'm going to point his ahead so that we can target everything in that column. Do we have any more gems? We do. Oh, we have our gold Morgaine chest. We should open that. Are we gonna get an epic? No. Okay, that's fine. That's 12 item levels, 14 item levels. Nice. I feel like silver chests, because we get to open more that way. Let's just get a lot of chests. And let's open them all. Ah, okay. Well, we tried. No shinies for our first Guiding Hand stream. Ah well. But there's video proof that it's happened. Once upon a time. I think it was Archon's slot 1 that I picked up on stream the very first time I streamed Idle Champions. That was a good day. Alright, Morgaine, let's help you out. Excellent. I know it's cheesy, dorky, nerdy, whatever, call it whatever you want, I love all the swords. I love all the cool swords in this game. Like, I have a shiny on Dritz's Icing Death. And, oh, every time I pull another Icing Death from a gold chest, oh, I get excited about it. That's great. The fact that she has a sword and a bow, ah, so cool. You can use multiple at a time, but I like doing it one at a time, so I can just kind of take it all in. Oh, we still have a little more. Okay. Yay! There we go. Is the pink coin from Cthulhu being a thief? Yes. I think that's purple, not pink. But I'm colorblind, so what do I know? But that is a unique coin color. Platinum coins will appear for a variety of reasons, but the Cthulhu coin has a unique color. I suppose it could be both. It could be purple and pink. Is it worth unlocking patrons as soon as you meet the requirements? Honestly, I would say yes. Yes, definitely. Yes, absolutely, because as soon as you unlock them, you unlock access to their shops. Which means you can immediately start purchasing time gate pieces once a week from each of them. And if you collect time gate pieces, you can open time gates with Kalar. And if you open time gates, you can get champions and gear. I'm very excited for the time gate rework, where we can just pick whoever we want. Hey, when that rolls out, who are you going to pick? I'm tempted to go Frida. But then again, she already has such high item levels. I don't know. I like Neris. She's also very cool. And I don't remember if I have her finished or not for the purpose of reaching average item level 50. Oh, she's not. Okay. So I could do a few more Neris time gates. That could be fun. Also, I just enjoy playing the Fleet's Wake event. So I could do Zorbu or Black Viper. Just because I think the boss fight is extremely cool. So Zorbu, Narak, Dadius, Palton, Strix, Birdsong. Okay, good ones here. Good choices. I like Palton. I didn't think I would like Palton. But, no, actually playing with him, yeah, changed my mind. He's a good character. Oh, and Sorcelled, I know how you feel. I'm missing one epic on Zorbu, I think. Let me check. I think I only need one more. No, I need two. The thing I was remembering was that his slot 3 is shiny, and I don't have the epic for it. So, really want slot 3 epic, because it's already shiny. Ugh. That was from a Potion of Polish. Put some levels on everyone's favorite kobold. Well, not everyone's favorite. Some people prefer Ishii or Deacon. Spurt's my favorite. He just looks so happy. Look at him when he throws his bag of wasps. Yay! He opens his mouth. He's a happy little guy. I like him. One day, watch, it'll be like year 8 or something of Vital Champions, and we can finally field an entire team of kobolds. Kobold gang. One day, eventually, maybe. He's dead all the time. You're right. We should make that happen. There he goes. But now he's even stronger! Strike him down, and he will become more powerful than you can ever imagine. Because that's how his character mechanics function. 5 kobolds in a trench coat. Now there's an idea. You can do it, Regis. You only need to kill 4 more. You can do it. I believe in you. Alright, take care. I'll still be here for a few more minutes. Till the top of the hour. We need to get a tank out here. We don't have any tanks out here yet. If we can't keep Spurt out because the team keeps dying, then we're going to need an ALE. Nope, 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 nope. If we can catch a window between the attacks, I can move her. But it looks like it's not going to happen. Okay, we're done. Now I can move her. Great. I'm especially fond of my ALE because she's my, I believe, only champion to be fully gilded. I'm not sure what else to call this. I don't think we have a term for it in the community when you have all shinies and or golden epics on a character. She's the only one of mine that's like that. Let's go Devotion. I never go Devotion. I sometimes go Devotion. I've heard that Oath of Devotion is good for the Dragonbait unlock variant. Because more health on your entire team is good for surviving the boss. I like the names that I'm seeing in here. If I had to pick one from the ones that I've seen in here, I'd probably go with Radiant. I like Radiant. Partly because I'm a Sanderson fan, but also just because it's just a good word. Yep, Devotion spec, that's what I have her in. Not sure who I want at higher tiers here, but we might not even need to go that far. Hey, we've unlocked the privilege of using slot 4. So I'm gonna put Stokey out. Sure, good enough for now. Polished. That sounds like if we had to have an official term, that would be the go-to official term for it, is polished. But I don't know. I like polished or radiant. I like radiant more. When you search Idle in Steam, this game comes up first. Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I'm glad that Idle Champions is, you know, successful. I've clearly put a lot of time and effort into this game, so that's great. Master of Bling. There's an achievement. It's a very, very late game achievement. Oh, Soul Reaver, you remember seeing me using the term? Guild levels to refer to shiny and gold together. Nice. If that's the official word for it, then I'll happily go with that. I don't want the stream to end before we can finish this. Let's go faster. Faster. Faster! Alright, let's see if we can't finish this before 9 minutes are up. Wish me luck. I'll take Velvet Touch, and I'll just move him away from everyone. I will take Ruby Weakness Melee, still intending on getting Crawl out here as soon as possible. Deacon, yes, Deacon would make it go faster, so it's Sentry. I could put Sentry out here, I suppose, to make it go faster, but I don't want to put Deacon out here because I want to use Cthulhu. It's Cthulhu's event, after all. It would be remiss of me to not let Cthulhu and Regis in on the fun. Why the name Storyteller Mars? I read a lot. A lot of books. I'm working on 2 of them right now. And... we'll just keep Keelik. He's a good boy. He's a good birdie boy. Shandy would make it faster, but I just want to use Kroll. We can use Shandy, but I don't know. It feels stale to use the same tactics every single run that I go on. Whether it's speed champions for going faster, or Kroll because Kroll just wins games, beats bosses and wins games. It feels stale to always do the same thing. I like to mix it up, because that also helps me to stay on top of the meta for, like, all champions, if that makes sense. I think it's kind of a trap that players fall into occasionally, this sort of paralytic feeling that there's only one way to play a game, one champion to use in a bench slot. No, mix it up. Always mix it up. Have fun with it. It's a video game. If you're not having fun, what's the point? Idle Champions is not a competitive game, after all. It's just you, the goals that you set for yourself, and how you choose to achieve them. Yes, I think the patron challenges are excellent for that kind of mentality of mixing things up. Like for this, I am going to use Kroll, but with the intention of using Kroll as my DPS character, and not as a support character. Good. He is currently my top DPS. That's what I want. Give me Empowered Blessing. Who do I want to put over here? Do I even want to use slot 7? If I do, it'll be either Catti-brie or Jim. I'll go with Catti-brie for now. The rest are not really support characters, so not thrilled about using them if I've already decided who was going to be my DPS. How would that even work, Gar? How would you even make that into an esports event? Come on. Yeah, how does that even work? Oh, Morgaine. We can't even use you yet, Morgaine. The stream will be over before I unlock you, Morgaine. That's so sad, Morgaine. No, we'll get her. Soon. If anyone can make it happen, Garwar can. Just don't hold him to it. Don't put that pressure on him. Walnut? Sure. Yeah, we can do Walnut. I can make her buff reach 2 spaces over so that it lands on Krull. Where are my other slots at? Here they are. Okay. So, if I want Krull to stay in this column, then Nayeli is not a good choice for this position. But honestly, I might not even need any more. What's his HP at right now? 238? That's not a lot. But I'm sure we could raise it if we stacked a bunch of different health-sharing tanks in the formation. Hey, Morgaine! Welcome to the party, finally. Now, where do I want to put you? Here is good. Here is good. Okay. Sure. I do feel like using Sentry after all. And we'll do Echo's Will. This way, we can put Sentry in position to free up Nayeli. For Nayeli, I'll go back to using Spurt, because we started with Spurt at the beginning. I'll take Pack Tactics. And I'll just keep him in this position. This is fine. I have used Walnut as tank often in the past. I know Walnut can be pretty divisive for a lot of players out there, but I like her, personally. I think she's fun. I like that she ramps when you start getting kills. That's just it's kind of an engaging mechanic in my eyes. I like it. Every player's different, of course. I don't expect everyone to agree with me on that. Playing aggressive with Delana sounds fun. If you never tried Delana DPS formation, give it a shot. I mean, she is a DPS. You can make formations that use her. They won't be completely optimal compared to some other formations, some other DPS choices that exist out there. But who cares? As long as you're having fun. You can always switch to a more optimal formation when you choose to push your wall. Until you get there, why not give it a shot? No harm in trying something new. You might find that you enjoy it more. Going faster does not give you more event tokens. That's a great question. It comes up from time to time. You gain event tokens at a constant rate, even if the game is closed. Even if you have the game open and you're at your wall and you're not killing things. It will look like you're not gaining any tokens, but if you close the game and reopen it, or if you end your adventure and start another one, you will suddenly see that you have more tokens, because the game will check what you're supposed to have and bring you up to that point. There you go. Oh, thank you very much for saying that, Ryan. The rate is not constant? You sure? Event tokens, rate of 2.4 per minute, 72 for small contracts, 576 for medium, 1152 for large. But yeah, 2.4 per minute. Oh, well, at any rate, it is the top of the hour. So, I have to bid you guys adieu, unfortunately. Until next time. Yeah, I know, it's heartbreaking. It feels like we just started, but I'll see you guys next week, I hope. So, thank you for joining me for our first ever episode, our premiere of Mars Guiding Hand. I hope to see you all next time. Cheers. And a huge thank you to Codename Entertainment for allowing me this opportunity. Okay. Take care, everyone. See you next week.